Am I wrong for announcing my pregnancy at my sister's wedding? Announcing it or just telling people like, hey, by the way, I'm pregnant? There's a big difference. I'm 32 and my sister is 28, and we've always been incredibly close. Point in case, she was the first person I told that I was pregnant, besides my husband, of course. I told her essentially a week after I got a positive pregnancy test, which was about 3 months before her wedding. I told her I was going to tell our parents and my husband's parents around the 10-week mark, but she told me that I should hold off until her wedding in September. I never understand people who think pregnancy announcements overshadow your wedding. That is not the case. Like, the world does not revolve around you. Like, ugh. I'd be like 4 months along at that point, so I wouldn't be showing really, and she thought it would be so special for her to be able to make an announcement about a special guest at her wedding, and it'd be her first niece or nephew, and my parents' first grandbaby. Oh, so she's the one who decided to like actually announce it at your wedding. That's cute. I like that. I agreed because it seemed like it meant a lot to her, and again, we were super close and I was happy to do that for her. I actually really like that idea. I'm really close with my sister, so like I can see this maybe potentially happening, but never mind, because she's already married and has like 3 kids, so no. Turns out the first trimester was awful with morning sickness and exhaustion. I would have preferred to be able to talk about it with my mom, but I was willing to grin and bear it for my sister's wedding. Well, the wedding came along, and about halfway through the night, I asked her when the announcement was happening. She told me that she changed her mind and that her wedding didn't seem like a good time or place to announce my pregnancy. I was obviously super upset since I went through a really awful first trimester with only my sister and husband to lean on. I decided I wasn't going to put the announcement on hold any longer just for her. So my husband and I pulled my parents aside and quietly told them to keep it private for the evening. They were thrilled, lots of hugs, a few tears, but a very touching and private moment. Literally, no one else found out until I announced it on Facebook a week later. My sister found out about it the same time as my Facebook post when my dad mentioned how we told him about it. And she texted me and called me a bitch who made her wedding about myself. And she hasn't spoken to me since. I've messaged her and apologized probably a dozen times since then, but she refuses to talk to me and now refuses to come see her little nephew who is almost a month old at this point. Listen, you have a happy, beautiful, healthy family. I get that's your sister and stuff, but she is choosing not to be in your life, so don't go ahead and run after people who don't want to be with you. Guys are way too old for this kind of chitter chatter shit to be happening. If she can, I have 6 nephews and nieces, okay? I would never let something like that get in between my nephews and nieces who are essentially like my own kids. So that just shows more on her character than anything else. And I know it hurts as a sister to go through this, but you're good, trust me. My parents and partner think I did nothing wrong since she went back on her word and that I should just wait it out and she'll come around. I'm obviously unsure as clearly this has made her so upset with me and we were so close before. So am I the asshole? Am I wrong for not attending the engagement dinner my future in-laws threw for me after my fiance hid my engagement ring? My fiance, 31 male, proposed to me, 28 female, days ago. He has this habit of joking around and pulling pranks from time to time. It bothers me sometimes, but I try to have patience. His family wanted to throw us an engagement party at a restaurant. I heard his mom talk about how expensive this place was and how much money they paid for reservations, so this clearly was a huge deal for them. My fiance and I were getting ready, and I noticed my engagement ring wasn't where I left it before I entered the shower. I freaked out and looked for it everywhere. I asked my fiance about it and he said he didn't see it. I freaked out and was running out of time for the party. He sat there watching me, almost losing my mind trying to find it, to the point where I started crying because without the ring, I couldn't show up to the party. I kept thinking about what his family would say and how they think I was irresponsible to lose a ring that is somewhat expensive. I gave up looking and sat down and just cried in frustration. Next thing I knew, my fiance was standing in front of me laughing with his hand extended to me with the ring in it. I asked where he found it and he could barely speak and say that he hid it from me last minute before the party as a prank. I was in shock, but I just sort of blew up on him and started yelling, saying that he hid the ring, made me freak out for 2 hours and almost made me miss the party. He was like, relax, it was a prank, okay? Don't make a big deal out of it and ruin the evening. I told him I wasn't going to the party and that if his family asked, I would tell them it was because he hid my ring. He freaked out and started begging me to let it go and just go with him, but I refused and went into the bathroom, took my medication and stayed there. He lost it and kept saying that I blew this out of proportion and that I ruined my own party and cost his family a lot of money and disrespected them by not attending. His family found out and they were mad at him, but also me for choosing to not attend and getting over it, but I was in a horrible state emotionally and couldn't handle being in public after what had happened. So, am I the asshole for choosing not to go after he hid the ring? Am I wrong for turning down my stepmother's necklace to her during my wedding? My stepmother, I use the term just for here, but to me, she's the woman my dad is married to, has always wanted a daughter. She has 4 boys with my dad. She was my dad's wife to me and my sister. We lost our mom very young, but neither of us were willing to have a second mom. We were both clear about this from the jump. This bothered her, but she just decided that she would just have babies with dad and get as many daughters as she could. Then, after boy number 4, she was unable to have more, and I remember her telling us she hated us for denying her the opportunity to be a mom to daughters. Yeah, because that's your fault, right? That we didn't have a mom anymore and she would have loved us and done everything to be a good mom. Years have gone by since then, and we really don't talk all that much to her, or our dad for that matter. My sister got married 4 years ago, but only invited me and her husband's family. Now it's my turn, and I did decide to have a slightly bigger wedding, and because of some pressure from extended family, I invited my dad and his family. Stepmother tried to give me her necklace for the wedding. She said it was something the woman in her family wear on their wedding day and they pass it down. She wanted to be able to pass it down, but I said no to it. This upset her, and then the whole extended family heard about it. Now I'm being told that since I invited her, I should be more willing to accept this, even though I invited them because of the pressure put on me to. They told me I should be willing to treat them like family and be kind and go out of my way for them as such, and it was cruel to turn down a sentimental item. So, am I the asshole? Well, I don't care how sentimental that shit is. If I don't like it, I don't like it. I'm not wearing it. Simple as that, regardless of who it came from.